What up, loved ones? What it do? Spotted Young right here. You know where I'm from. Thanks for tuning in. And if you're new to this channel right here, just hit the subscribe button real quick. Give it a like if you think it's cool, if you think it's real. Hell yeah, man. Happy to have the homie right here. OG Dolla from Suicidal Crip. Yeah. Introduce yourself, bro. Where'd you grow up and shit, man?
What's up? My name is, Macy, Also go by $4 from Suicidal, I just barely got out in November, after doing almost 19 years since 2003. I got locked up as a kid, 15 years old and shit like that, locked down as a kid, And I was with my boy right here, Spotted Young right here, We was locked up together in Juvenile Hall,
Yes, sir. Yeah, man. So, but you grew up in Long Beach, right?
Yeah, I grew up in Long Beach on the east side, with all the Asian boys and all the EFCC and stuff like that,
On the east side of Long Beach. So eventually, you're gonna be you're gonna back down and be a square, or just be excuse me for the word, but be like a pussy. But you didn't though. You decided to fight back, but whoever is trying to bully or oppress you, and that's how you get in the hood. And eventually you start making a name for yourself, start putting in work. When I met you, bro, I remember back in 2003, I think that's where I met you. And, we're all kids. I'm 15, you were 15, and we met at Silmar Juvenile Hall. And you already have a big-ass tattoo of the 1-5, the S.E.A. for Suicidal, right? Oh, you still got it? Yeah. And nobody else had tattoos like that, only a few individuals. And man, so you was already putting. Can you tell us about your journey? Like, how did you even cut your time in the first place?
Well, I caught my time, I was there was like a gang-related shooting, So shit happened, Like you said, It's either you back down and be a pussy, or you fight back, Then it's like, Shit happened to where shootings started happening, And stuff like that. So, Then I got locked up. I got locked up for attempted murder, 2 counts, on at that time my enemigos, Going through the system was kind of hard because, I was kind of like 15 years old, 15 years old. And at that time, it wasn't hard per se until later on in my prison term. It was just hard as a simple fact that when I was young, I didn't give a fuck about nothing. You already know how it was, Like I was fighting, I was gang banging, representing this, Suicidal Town, that, I didn't give a fuck, That's just what it was, And then now that, I grew up in the system, it was different. Being in the prison yard was different, So that's just what it was, growing up. Sorry about the background, I got roommates up there, I'm in the halfway house.
Halfway house. Yeah. After 19 years, still got to go to the halfway house. That's crazy, man. Yeah.
I do the program because the program is helping me out, But as I was saying earlier about growing up in the system and stuff like that, It was different, because in YA and Juvenile Hall, it was all about your hood. It wasn't about race. It wasn't about, your skin color. It wasn't about your culture. It was just all about gangbanging. Whether you're a Crip, whether you're a Blood, whether you're a S.E.A. or a Northerner, whether you're Cairo or not. Prison, it was all about, being, in the Asian card, the other Islander card, And that's just what it was. We couldn't, me growing up, I was always saying the N-word. I was always sagging my pants. But in prison system, you can't do that. You can't, especially being Asian, you couldn't do that, not in the prison system. And I remember it was 2 times I got in trouble. I got DP twice. Not DP like as a beat up or anything like that, but workout detail. You know how that goes. Workout detail.
By the way, real quick, I was just gonna ask because you mentioned the DP. Were you, because you're half Laos and half Cambodian, right?
Half Laos and half Thai.
Oh, I'm sorry, half Thai. But you was running with the S.E.A car, right, or the Thai car? S.E.A car. Damn, so they made you do a lot of burpees for like 3 hours straight or something.
Yeah. The first time I got I was saying the N word, and then I
Yeah,
had to
yeah,
do 100 burpees. You already know, for a little kid like myself, you know what I
yeah,
mean.
yeah,
I never did burpees. I mean,
yeah,
so
yeah.
100 burpees was a lot. I mean, I freaking died. You know what I mean? Now, don't get me wrong. Like in YA, I was kind of, I was working out with weights. But remember, now it's all about your wind system. You have to, you know what I mean? Your wind pipe. You know what I mean? So it's like you have to learn how to keep up. And bro, almost died. The second time I got DP was for sagging my pants. I had to do 150 Navy SEALs. You
Ah,
know what I mean?
damn.
So for like I said, for a kid like myself at that time, I was, I was only 18 walking, walking a level 4 180, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's what I had to do.
Bro, man, can you imagine we were just little kids, 15 in Silmar? I remember in Silmar, you were still like I think you got a cousin from ABZ or something, or he was outside and we was a Uni Z, remember? And then you was like, ah man, I can't wait for my cousin to come up here, man. What's up, buddy? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? You know what I mean? Yeah, it's crazy, bro. And then they got a YA and still game banged out. But you know what though? Even though I was stupid, I mean, of course we're 15. I still even you and you guys were showing me love too, like on the Asian tip, even though we didn't know any better yet because we haven't been to the pen, right? Because I remember when I was using the restroom, it was like, you remind me of my uncle. You got to squat like this and shit. That was funny, man.
Yeah, I remember that because it was like I said, you know what I mean? Like grow up in a household where we was at, you know what I mean? Our uncle used to do that, you know what I mean? He used to squat like that, you know what I mean? And when
Yeah,
I
yeah,
seen you doing that, I was like, damn, you remind me of my uncle, bro.
yeah. And then I remember this outside dude. I'm not. I mean, I know who he is, but I'm not gonna say where he's from or what his name and shit. He trying to he trying to shake your hand with the left hand, and then of course you being a nice person, us, you know what I mean? We shook his hand. Then I seen him trying to backstab you, trying to fucking swing at you with the right hand, but he was hella slow and missed. And then you started moppy wiping this shit, man. Yeah, that was funny, bro. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, man. Who was always fighting, you know what I mean, stuff like
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
and it was crazy. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's like if you don't know how to fight, then you know what I mean, especially in YA and especially in the youth, you know what I mean, like juvenile hall, you know what I mean. You're gonna learn how
Yeah.
to fight, you know what I mean, because you're always fighting. You know?
See,
Yeah, I
bro.
remember that.
Here's the thing, right? Because you already know how I'm pushing, or I'm on the gloves up, guns down movement, because we changed, we've evolved, and also I'm on that stop Asian hate movement, because we want that unity among everybody, which they don't really truly understand at first. Because uh, remember what we see on the music videos when everybody was internet banging? That was our
Yeah,
mindset as little kids. But these kids, they don't know they're gonna catch a million years or 300 years, and then
yeah,
there's gonna be no guns in there, and they have to catch that fade in the cell. It's like a little ass cell, and then until somebody taps out in the pin,
yeah,
right? But
exactly.
they don't really understand that. They think the internet banging is cool, like they're supposed to be hard. But our OGs, like the Asian OGs, they always teach us no barking, just fight. But these kids out here, internet banging, all that barking, and then they're gonna end up PC up, go to pin PC up anyways and shit. A lot of them, or snitch, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. And I see things like that, and you know what I mean? And you already know how it goes, you know what I mean? I don't condone that at all, you know what I mean? It's like, you know what I mean? If that's your lifestyle, then it is what it is, you know what I mean? But like I said, like how you say, you know what I mean? All the OGs, is like, you know what I mean? Stop barking, you know what I mean? Just go ahead and do your thing. You feel me? So it's like, you know what I mean? It's no point, you know what I mean? It's like you out here showing your guns and stuff like that, but then yet when you're not using them, then what's the point? Now you letting everybody know, you know what I mean, who you are, where you from, and what you got, but yet you ain't doing nothing about it. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
That's just
They,
business.
Damn, bro. So, man, you had 19 years, and after 19 years, you're getting released right there in the halfway house, right there. Can you tell me in the beginning, because I was wondering, because since we were the same age, we were 15. Did you ever thought that, man, did you ever fantasize that I think after a couple of years they're gonna feel sorry for me and let me out when I'm 18, or you already accepted they're gonna do the whole time right away? How did you feel during that time?
See, at that time, I already knew that I was going to do my whole time. I already accept the fact that I was going to do my whole time. So my mindset wasn't about the streets. My mindset wasn't about nothing. You know what I mean? And the only way I was able to survive up in there was to forget about the streets. Don't even think about the streets. Don't get me wrong. I watch TVs, I watch movies about the streets and stuff like that. But I didn't fantasize about getting out. You know what I mean? Because being in a level 4 180, you don't know what's going to happen. You know what I mean? It's when you step out that gate, when you step out that door, you don't know if you're ever going to come back. So therefore, you go with the mindset of, you know what, who gives a damn? Whatever happened, happens. You know what I mean? It's like, I signed up for this lifestyle. You know what I mean? I'm going to do my whole time. If not time, then I'm going to do life because of, you know what I mean, of how things were in there, you know?
Damn, bro. All right. So you hit Silmar, and then you hit for your YA reception, you hit NRC. I sorry, SRC Norwalk, and then after Norwalk, you hit. Where'd you go after that?
After Norwalk, I went to Preston. I went to Preston over there.
Preston.
I got in trouble in SR. I got into, like, you know, fights after fights. Then they sent me all the way to Preston's. And then when I got over there, you know what I mean, after Preston, after I turned 18, they sent me to KC Reception Center.
Oh,
you know what I mean? And that was my first taste of being in prison. You know, small ass cell. You know, the water was brown. It was coming out dirty as hell.
Ah, damn. By the way, how did you feel when you first went to the Pinta now, to the CDC, instead of none of that little kid stuff no more, man? How did you feel, man, being with grown, big ass motherfuckers and shit?
Let me tell you something. Let me say this. If anybody said they wasn't scared, they bullshit. I'm gonna tell you that right now, because being as a little kid, being all the stories you're hearing, all the documentary watching, you know that this is real life now. You know that this is not a game. So of course I was scared. I was scared shitless about what's gonna happen, who I was gonna run with, who I'm gonna see, what's gonna happen to me. You know what I mean? I didn't know what prison actually entails, only from what I seen on movies, or the documentary that's been shown to me. So I was scared shitless. You know what I mean? I was like, damn, what the fuck am I walking to? You know what I mean? And then when I got to Tracy, you know what I mean, it was already established. You know what I mean? Some dude, you know what I mean, some black dude, you know what I mean, he got booked. I didn't know what the reason was, you know what I mean? It was just, you know what I mean, come outside before we even make it to our area of where we kick it at, he's already getting stabbed. And I was like, damn. And then you learn not to, you know, when you're there, of course, you're being a little kid, 18 years old, all you want to do is just look, you know what I mean? Because you're like amazed or horrified of what you see. But at the same time, in prison, you have to learn how to just walk away like nothing is happening. You know what I mean? And it was crazy. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man.
Yeah. So, man, how long did you stay in reception? What's your first main line after reception, Tracy?
After Tracy, I was only there for about maybe 3 to 4 months, and then in April 2006, I went to Corcoran, SAT-F 180 C yard.
Ah, damn, yeah.
And when I got there, I was huh?
I know. I was gonna ask. By that time, that was around 06. Did you run into the homie Jumper, or nah?
No. Well, Jumper was already there, but when I got there, he already left. He
was
in
right.
Yard, and he was upper yard with my client me, and that was a funny story because I was in lower yard. And you know, you learn about, you know, people checking paperwork. You know what I mean? So I got there. I told him, I said, hey, look, I need to talk to my Mac rep. I need to talk to one of the Asian Mac rep. So I seen, you know what I mean, then they brought me to him, you know, his name is Mike Top, you know what I mean? Cool homie, you know what I mean? Cool homie, you know what I mean? Got something to life. He was in LP, you know what I mean? He was in Silmar, you know what I mean, with us.
Yeah.
Anyways, he had
Yeah.
7 to life, but he already been down at that time 10 years, you know what I mean? 10, 15 years. So he already been there 15 years already. So anyways, when we was there, I told him, I said, hey, I got my paperwork. Then he was like, no, I don't need some paperwork. And then now I'm panicking. Now I'm thinking like, oh shit, did I land on the wrong yard? Did I land on a PC yard? Because, you know what I mean, in general population, they're supposed to check your paperwork because they're just supposed to know who you are and that you're not a rapist, a snitch,
Sex
or
offender. Yeah.
So now I'm asking them. He said, "Now we don't need to check it." So now I'm tripping out. Now I go back into the cell by myself. I'm tripping out about what's going to happen. So I'm told I'm being moved to 5 block upper yard. So now I'm like, so now I'm ready. So now I got my fake pencil, who I thought was a knife. Right, I had a pencil in my hand. I'm saying, "Oh, I'm about to get off on the first person because I already heard that if you don't do that, then you automatically no good in the prison system, and you know my prison career. And then at that time, I'm not gonna let my prison career go bad. So as I'm walking the yard, as I'm going the upper yard, I go into a cell. I go in the cell with one of the USO homies, right? Let me tell you something. And you already know how them USO are. They big in the motherfucker. You know what
And they're like 10 times bigger than us and shit. Yeah, they're bigger, bro. Yeah. The land of the giants.
Exactly. So I go in there. He's 6'3". He's over 200 some pounds. So I'm like, damn, do not tell me I gotta fight him. Do not tell me I gotta stab him. So I go in there, I'm chilling. I say, you know what? Let me chill for the night because I have one more day to actually do my thing. I come outside. Now to yell Gabriel. I come outside. I'm chilling. Now I'm about to, do. Now I'm looking for the smallest Asian. You know what I mean? I'm looking for the smallest Asian. I see one of the homies. You know what I mean? He's Vietnamese. He's about like 5'1". I said, oh, I could take him. You know what I mean? So I was like, no man. And then next thing I hear banging on the door. I mean, remember in level 4 180 is the octagon. I'm in B section. I hear banging on the door from C section, and I look around, I turn around, and I see my crime meet. You know what I mean? My crime meet Whisker from EFCC. So I seen him. I said, "Oh crap, what's up?" So I go talk to him and stuff like that. That's the reason why we didn't need your paperwork. You know what I mean? Because you already checked out already. I said, "Man, how come you didn't tell me?" You know what I mean? I'm over here like, damn, like I'm on the wrong yard or something. You know what I mean? They said, "Nah, man, you good, man." They were kind of making me sweat and shit like that, see what I was going to do and shit like that. But after that, man, I didn't, you know what I mean? I had to learn how to push all the street life out of my head. You know what I mean? All the street life out of my head. You know? Because one of the homie Fonte, you know what I mean, the USA homie, you know what I mean, he kind of taught me, right from wrong, what to do in the prison system, what not to do. You know what I mean? So that's how I was able to survive all that time.
Damn, bro. But yeah, I feel you on that one, man. They're kind of high tech now and shit. A lot of the homies, they work at they got Connect, man. They can see all the fucking sex offenders and they already know who you are. They know. Yeah, they study you, bro. Like, hold on, let me look at $4 resume and shit, man. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Exactly. And you already know most Asians, you know what I mean? We most Asian and others, we work behind the wall. We work in the, the program. We work in the kitchen, not the kitchen. We work in laundry. You know what I mean? Because most of the time, the reason why they always hire us is because we didn't go on lockdown like that. You know what I mean? We was always, you know what I mean, like off lockdown, and we was able to work and move. You know what I mean? That's how we was able to do things.
Yeah, we're supposedly neutral stuff. Yeah. But yeah, man. So bam. So you did your 180 yard, 4 yard maximum security and the court run. After that, where did you end up going to?
Oh, after that, man, I kind of went up to I went to Ironwood. I went to Ironwood. I you know what I mean. And then when I got there, man, again, man, you know what I mean. It was another stabbing, some more stabbing, some DPs, and I was just like, damn. And at this time, I was already accustomed to it. You know what I mean? I wasn't that little ass horrified at what I see at the time. Now this has become the norm. You know what I mean? The stabbing, the killing, the DP, the removal, it became the norm. Like, you know what I mean? The outcome, justified the means. You know what I mean? It had to be done. That's what I always told myself.
Yeah, but it was a whole different ball game and shit. For me, my little brain like this when I was in little kid just became hella big when I went to prison and shit, right? Damn, bro. So you was running the same hay car, taking it, and I mean, you know what I mean? Because they're the one that's gonna take care of you first, you know, if something comes up. And then uh, Ironwood was there for a couple of years, and then where'd you go after that?
Well, after Ironwood, they kind of moved me out of state. You know what I mean? They moved me to Eloy. You know what I mean? I was in La Palma. You know what I mean? I was there for about like a whole year. You know what I mean? When I first got out there,
Yeah.
when I first got to Eloy to La Palma, you know what I mean? It's like every homie that was there, you know what I mean? They haven't been down long enough. Most of them haven't been down long enough because all the homie that been down a long time, they was either in Mississippi or Oklahoma. So when I was in Eloy, California, in La Palma, you know what I mean? I was kind of, you know what I mean? Like
Regulating.
one of the people everybody was looking up to because I've been down a long time because I know the politics and I didn't like that. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong, it was cool because it was like I was able to like at least run the actual car the right way. You know what I mean? Not to say that I was in charge of everybody, but it was like I was able to have a voice in how we move and how we program. You know what I mean? We you know what I mean? We wasn't running around like a headless chicken. You know what I mean? So it was cool. And then after La Palma, you know what I mean, they moved me to Oklahoma, and I was there for about like 3.5 years. You know what I mean, like 3 years at best. You know what I mean, in Oklahoma, and over there it was cold as hell, 10 degrees.
They got hailstorms like this big.
It was hella cold. It was like when I first got there, it was in December, and I don't know if you guys remember movies when you know prisoner of war back in World War II. When you look at that, when you know when they get captured by the Germans,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
it looks like there was so many fence and so many barbed wires and
For
so
real.
looking like I was a prisoner of war. You know what I mean? Like I just got captured by the Germans. You know what I mean? It was crazy.
So many yards too. It's weird, man. Yeah.
After that, you know what I mean, over there, that's when they kind of moved me back to La Palma, and I was over there with a bunch of Northerners. You know, the way they do their program was so crazy, bro. You already know how the Northerners do their program.
Yeah,
It was like,
so after Oklahoma, they sent you back to Eloy again, Arizona.
mm-hmm. I was supposed to go back to Cali, but then when I got to La Palma, they say I had a medical hold. They said I had a medical hold that had to stay there. So therefore, because of my asthma, you know, because where they wanted to send me to, they wanted to send me to Lancaster, not Lancaster, the private prison that's right there.
Yeah, yeah.
They wanted to send me over there. So I couldn't go because they didn't have no medical care over there. So they had to keep me there in La Palma for about another year. I mean, I stayed for about another year. Then they ended up sending me to a CRC. You know what I mean? To level 2.
Damn, bro. So all in all, the whole 19 years, what was your experience doing time with each prison gang? Like, you know, how do you view them? Like the biggest prison gang, the Southsiders, and then what's next? The Blacks, right?
Yeah.
And then you got the North.
Going from level 4 to level 3 and level 2, you know what I mean, then to camp. You see the structure. The structure was kind of different. You know what I mean? Every time you move down a level or lower level, you see the how the structure watered down. Like in level 4, you know what I mean? The way how the Muslim program, the way how the S.E.A, the Northerners, you know what I mean, the white boys, you know what I mean, and everybody program was all solid, was all one. You know what I mean? Was
in the 4-yard?
No room for level 4-yard, 180.
Yeah.
180, no room for mistake. Level
Super
4,
tight.
180, 273 was all tight. The program was tight. The politics was tight. There was no and, if, or but. You know what I mean? It was either you go with it or you don't, because remember, nobody is bigger than the car. I don't care who you are. I don't care who your family is. Nobody is bigger than the car.
Real talk.
Everybody bleeds the same.
Yeah.
Everybody bleeds the same. Therefore, you can't use your weight like how you would use it, like if you was on the streets. You know what I mean? Because remember, You're not bigger than the car. There's always one person running the whole thing. You know what I mean? And once they make that call, especially for the S.E.A, especially for the Northerners, you know what I mean, and especially for the blacks, especially for the whites, and especially for us, you know what I mean? And then, like you said, like for us, it was we all one. We're Asians. We're all one Asian Islander. But then within our card, there's different factions. You got the Pare, you got the Laos, the Singhe, you got the Cambodian, you got the Chinese who run with the Vietnamese, then you got the Samoans, the Islander card. You know what I mean? But then, even though we have different factions, we all come together and make a decision as a whole. But then when other groups, other background, S.E.A, Northerners, blacks, the whites, it wasn't like that. It was one person calling the shot, and that was about it. It's either you listen or you don't.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Dictatorship type shit. Some command roots type of shit right there, huh?
Exactly. So it was different. And then doing time with them, you know back then, you know what I mean, when you was young, especially where I grew up at, you know, it was all about race, you know what I mean? It was all racist, you know what I mean? And then when you grew up in the prison system like I have, you know what I mean, you learn not to look at people like that. You learn not to look at them for the colors or for the race they bang or for the gang they're from. You look at them as people, because in the level 4 180, it was all about respect. Like my neighbors was two essays, and they will always go on lockdown. And then what I normally do is that I always look out for them. I always send them, you know, food. I always give them food. And that's how we are. That's the reason why in prison we're neutral. You know what I mean? Like you already know how we are, like how Asian are. If you're going hungry, we're not gonna let you go hungry. We're gonna do everything we can to make sure you eat, regardless of what it is, because in prison it's not about, you don't take nothing personal. Nothing personal is all business. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And like when I seen the essays and the Northerners and having a big ass riot, I was there in 2007, going 2008, when they had a riot over there in level 4 180 in Corcoran, right? Northern and SA will go at it. After the riot, you'll have a Northerner asking the SA, let me borrow some CDs, and still talking shit to each other, but as a friendly way. And I'm like,
I
what
was
the
tripping out of that too.
I'm like,
Just all business, man.
and then when I talked to him, you know, I'm not going to say his name. When I talked to him, he said, look, he told me, he said, look, Dolla, you know what I mean? In the system, we hate the things that we have to do, but it has to be done. But we don't take nothing personal. It's all business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then when I heard that, I kind of looked at the prison system differently. I kind of looked at my mindset differently, because it's like, especially for us, we're out here killing each other, but then yet in the prison system now all of a sudden we have to get along. You know what I mean? Which is, it doesn't make sense. So then, you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, I don't knock nobody who's doing that right now. I would just like to be a voice and an example, you know what I mean, to be looked upon, be like, look, this is what happened when you do all the stupid shit and then you go get locked up. You know what I mean? It's not fun.
Yeah.
Your mind get fucked up.
I feel you, brother. Believe me, man. Well, let's just push forward, man. So, I mean, you already been through it all. Over 100 fights, melees, stabbings, all kinds of stuff in prison. But you also, you know, the way I look at you, bro, I think you're also a Zen master like me now and shit, man. You know, so you know what I mean. Like we're not those kids on the TV, internet banging, but none of that. Just, you know, we were that before, right? So, anyways, now after doing 19 years, how do you feel about this Asian hate that's going on? It's still going on, bro. I'm following that Asians with attitude. I still see a lot of stuff, a lot of hate, man, and just barely coming out to the light. You know, especially, and we're not united sometimes. Sometimes we're all tripping on each other too, but they don't really understand.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And then, like I said, I follow, you know what I mean? I follow Asian with attitude, you know what I mean? It's Menace, you know what I mean? I know him, you know, I talked to him a couple of times, you know what I mean? And to see these things, you know what I mean? To see the crime on Asian, you know what I mean? It's kind of like, heartbreaking. You know what I mean? Especially it's like, you know what I mean? It's just doing it to older grandparents, you know, to like people like our grandparents' age, and it's like they ain't got nothing to do with it. You know what I mean? It's like you're allowing these media to dictate how you do your program. You're allowing them to tell you, oh, coronavirus, it came from Asia, or it came from this, but yet you don't know the whole history of why corona, you know, happened. You know what I mean? And then you want to just go on and hate Asian and stuff like that when all we've been doing, and as you can see through history, is that we've been supportive of every culture, whether it's the march with, you know, Hispanics, whether it's the Black Lives Matter, you know what I mean? Whether
Cesar
it's
Chavez.
Exactly, you know what I mean? We was always there. And now I see this, and now I see that people will just stay there and record the hate towards us and not stepping in. And it kind of makes me mad, and it kind of makes me angry to the simple fact that, you know what, why don't you try that on me? Why don't you try that on my homies? Like, why you gotta mess with older people, you know, people who's our parents' age, our grandparents' age, and then it kind of makes me mad, like, bro, you know what I mean? Like, bro, like you seen a couple of them where he tried to rob somebody, you know what I mean, downstairs, you know, near the elevator. Then when he tried to do that, he pulled out a burner and started shooting. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, I don't condone. I don't glorify the violence. I don't. You know what I mean? Like trying to make violence like it's a number one thing, but I'm not doing that. You know what I mean? I'm all here about, you know what I mean, preaching. You know what I mean, and talking about love, peace. You know what I mean? About living together as one. You know what I mean? About, and then especially for our people, is to come together. You know what I mean? It's to come together, because right now it's too much hate between us. But for what? You hating each other, you killing each other, but the next you know, when you come in the prison system, now all of a sudden we have to get along. Now all of a sudden we're buddies, because remember, you have to make sure that your homies, who's your enemy, is well fed and well, you know what I mean, and well, you know what I mean, like in his prime, in order to have your back when things goes awry. Because
Damn
in
right.
the prison system,
Yeah.
so deep.
Yeah.
Only out of the population is 10-1.
Yeah.
It's 10-1. You know what I mean?
So everyone needs to be solid, right?
Exactly, and that's the reason why it's always work out. That's the reason why it's always mandatory everything, because why we're not so deep, and we have to come together. And then if we was, and put it like this, and that's the reason why my whole mindset changed. Don't get me wrong, I know who I am, I know where I'm from. If you test me, I ain't trying to go back into jail, but if you come at me and test me as a man, I'm gonna be forced to do what I need to do to stand my ground. Don't get me wrong, I'm not looking for the violence, but if you push and shove, I will go to that again. But my thing is that if we could all get along in prison and eat together as one and become one, why can't we do that out here? Why can't we practice that out here, to come together, to show unity, to help protect our elders? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Maybe they need to get sentenced with a 25-year sentence one time, or a 14-year sentence one time, or maybe 100-year sentence. Maybe they need that, man. But damn, though, that's, yeah. I mean, man, Asian hate, I don't know what to say. I mean, I can't do nothing about it because I'm right here, but, by the way, pushing forward, bro. On the halfway house, I see your cellies, or should I say doormates over there, all up in the mix. How long you got in there till you get out, bro? Man, still right there?
Right now, my actual date of getting out of here is October. But being that I was in fire camp and I was helping with California fighting all the fires, you know what I mean? Because I was a fireman in here, So I was I get 30 for 30. So every 30 days I do, I get 30 days off. And then in the program, since I'm doing this actual program in the halfway house, for every 90 days I do, I get 30 days off. So basically every 3 months, I get 4 months off. So I'll be out of here by May or June before summer.
For sure. And everything already done packed. You already know what to do, job, everything cool. Damn, that's right, brother.
The program over here, it kind of helps you out. It gives you, it helps you with a job. It helps you with housing, you know what I mean? And then over here, they kind of make you save 75% of your paycheck. That way you can leave here with some money in your pocket instead of being released from the prison system. Here's $200, get the fuck out of here type thing. You know what I mean? Right here is kind of, they're helping you with everything. They're giving you, everything you need in order to survive out there. Because right now, everything out here is expensive. It's expensive, bro.
Man. Yeah.
So I'm feeling the effects now,
Mando. So yeah, bro, man, I can see you know, like I said, he's the Zen master right now. You know what I mean? So I wish you nothing but the best, bro. You know what I mean? Do you have any other last words before I let you go to the young kids out there, to the internet bangers,
Yeah.
to the Snitch 9 generation?
Like I said, I like poetry, you know what I mean? Y'all want to follow me, man, stuff like that, y'all can, you know what I mean? It's like I've been writing poetry to help out the youth, you know what I mean? Because I'm all for that, you know what I mean? And the thing about that is that think before you act. Because remember, bro, you may not know it now, but the pain that you're putting your family through, the pain that you're putting everybody through, it's not worth it. Especially when you come in here and especially when you're doing 25 years or you're doing life, you know what I mean? Remember, you don't like it when other people tell you what to do. Imagine coming into prison when you're always being told what to do, when to eat, when to sleep, when to get the fuck on the ground, excuse my language, get down on the ground. You know what I mean? When you could go to the store, if you're able to go to the store, to go on lockdown, to go hungry. And remember, when you don't have people to look out for you, don't get me wrong, you may have a couple of friends that look out for you, but then after a couple of years, they're not going to know. And the only person that's going to take care of you is your family. So my thing is that, you know what I mean? You don't have to gangbang. You don't have to rob. You don't have to steal in order to have a luxury life. You could work a 9 to 5 and still have a life that you deserve and that you want. But the thing about that is that you need to put in the effort. You can't sit there and be like, oh, I want to be a millionaire, but yet sit on my butt and not do nothing. Go out there. Go out there and work. Go out there and strive. Your family did it. Your mom and dad did it. Your grandparents did it. Why can't you? Remember the struggles that they have to go through in order to give us the life that we want. Remember that. And if you got kids, how would you feel if your parents wasn't there for you? And some of you guys don't have no parents. And some of you guys don't have a dad or don't have a mom. Imagine how that feels. Imagine what you're going to do to your kids if you end up going to prison 25 years or to life. Don't put them through that. You know what I mean?
Real shit, man. Damn, that was straight from the heart. Real motherfucking talk, man. But yeah, though, bro. Just keep in touch, and hopefully, everything gonna be good. And of course, your family is super happy now, and they can see you every day. They're proud of you, man. Like that's all we're gonna do right now is just trying to pay back all the pain and suffering we gave them and shit, man. But yeah, bro. Talk to you soon, and I appreciate you coming to the show, man. Can you tell the people where they can find you, your YouTube or Instagram?
Okay, now on my Instagram, you can find me, Mace, MECE _562, you know what I mean? So you can find me on there, you know what I mean? And then, like I said, I do inspirational poems, you know what I mean? And sometimes I do TikTok and people laugh, you know what I mean? Just so y'all can see my goofy side, just because I'm like this, you know what I mean? Doesn't mean I don't have a fun side, you know what I mean?
Mando. I'm gonna put that right there, bro. I'm gonna put it right here. And yeah, man, I appreciate everything, man. See you soon, man. Hopefully one of these days. Yeah. And with that being said, y'all know what time it is. Say what you mean and mean what you say, because real recognize real, homeboy. Out of here. Yeah.
Out of here.